Brace yourself. It's that time again. Welcome to Unfiltered. I have to start. I got an email after last week's show from Kathleen O'Donnell. I don't know if she was really berating me for my attack on Hillary. She did point out the fact that it is an urban legend, and she led me to a website where I discovered that it was something apparently that was written. Paul Harvey never actually broadcast it, and Hillary and this Mr. Land Lee were not the only two people that supported these Black Panthers in rallying students and stuff. They were just two of hundreds. So, I got one wrong, which isn't unusual. But it just goes to show, research your candidates. Research every single one of them. If you're going to vote, put the energy and effort into researching every bit of their lives, because nobody's as squeaky clean as they all pretend to be. Another mistake I made last week, when I was talking about that self-professed pedophile, I said his name was John McLennan. His name is actually Jack McLennan. And I read another story, I believe it was in Friday's paper, about how he was leaving California because of the treatment he's getting in California. But we can't have pedophiles running around the country. That's all there is to it. Here's another thing we can't have. This came out of Monday's paper about Keene police making more than 24 arrests last weekend, college students. Come on, guys, don't come into our town just to cause trouble. I mean, you're here to learn, and I've lived here all my life, and Keene State's done nothing but grow. And it's grown probably tenfold since the 70s when I was here. And as a 12 and 13-year-old kid, I had full run of that campus. I was at every fraternity party. I was in every friggin' classroom, and I was at the gym all weekend, in the swimming pool whenever I felt like it. And now with the lockdown, and everything's locked, which really stinks, let me tell you, to deliver pizzas. And if you order pizzas as a college student, be watching for them. You have to realize that us delivery guys can't get in and come right to your room. So if you order a pizza and sit down, smoke a couple, have a few beers, and forget you ordered pizza, it's wasting my time standing outside waiting for you. And you better tip good. But yeah, a lot of the arrests were open container, illegal possession of alcohol, and a few cases of drunk driving. But college comes back in. Of course, the population of the town increases every day, every time the college comes back. The number of people driving increases, traffic increases, and so does crime. Next week's show, though, we're going to have a whole segment on being safe. So this is another one that came out of paper this week. It's the number of fatal crashes in New Hampshire is rising, and there's a 26% increase in fatal highway crashes. And the New Hampshire Safety Commissioner's alarmed at it, and he's warning people. He said the death toll is at 87 so far this year compared to 61 the same time last year. And he said 24 were driving or passengers on motorcycle, which is double the deaths of motorcycle riders from last year. So just, I mean, and the schools are back in session, so be careful driving. For God's sakes, we don't need kids hit. All right. Here's another one. This was actually a funny one because this is about a guy who had his hand stolen. Yeah. Apparently, it was a story from London, and it's a teenager named Jack Baker. And he stopped at his girlfriend's. He was out riding his motorcycle and stopped at his girlfriend's one day just to run in for a short visit. He left his prosthetic hand clamped to the handlebars of the bike, and somebody stole it. He was very disappointed. He said he went around and looked all around the neighborhood and he couldn't find it. And he didn't see any kids around or anything. And you know, he lost his right arm in a head-on crash with a bus in May. And his prosthetic hand allowed him to ride his new motorcycle. So he says now, though, he might not be able to afford the $903 that it'll cost to replace it. Oh, I had another one on that card, too. I can remember it anyway, Greg. It was from Tokyo, about a prison. Some of you might have seen this in the strange news briefs. They've noticed in this prison in Tokyo, it doesn't say, Abashiri Prison on the island of Hokkaido. They've noticed marijuana plants sprouting in the exercise yard by the tons. They've plucked out as many as 300 marijuana plants and treated the ground last year, and then several more plants sprouted this year. So, I mean, it's got prison officials flabbergasted. They don't know what to do. The prisoners actually reported the plants to the guard, which, I don't know. They think, local botanical experts think that the marijuana seeds were inadvertently brought in with the soil from the exercise yard. And the prison warden says it's a headache. This isn't a farm. But I'm telling you, if they started growing pot in the jails around here, I'd go back to jail. No problem. You know, to give the guys something to do, you know. The whole growing, harvesting, rolling. It's very labor intensive. There's one right from Portsmouth. Cops busted this guy for selling marijuana to teenagers in Market Square. And apparently late Monday night, a teenager reported being approached by a man with a heavily tattooed face with 3 baggies of marijuana for sale. And apparently there's only one guy around that has, let's see, a row of arrows over each brow, a tattoo on his forehead and scalp, and matching markings on each cheek. So apparently, you know, if you want to be a drug dealer, you want to stay low key. And the way to stay low key is to look like everybody else. Oh, tattooing your face all up. God. And apparently the man is a transplant here. He's a homeless individual. And it says he quickly went from living in a homeless shelter to a jail cell. Which, I mean, the jail cell's probably comfier. He can stay there all day. He can, you know, he's got his food. And he'll have medical stuff taken care of. Yeah, and despite his run-in with the law, the man says he likes Portsmouth, where he landed 2 weeks ago after riding with a trucker. I want to make it here, he says. Apparently, you're not going to make it in the drug business. Or probably the robbery business either, or anything where people can recognize you. This is my last story from these recent days that I thought was funny. Because I grabbed mostly the briefs out of the strange news briefs. This was from Smyrna, Tennessee. And strippers actually helped the police arrest a man for counterfeiting because they noticed he was spending $100 bills buying $100 lap dances, and the strippers were the ones that realized that the bills were fake. So yeah, I mean, if anybody knows money, it's a stripper. You know, especially bills. They see them all the time. I used to tip with quarters. It's more fun. Speaking of fun, anybody see this? Of course, when I first heard this, I thought it was just a bunch of crap because we don't have bank robberies in Keene. Somebody robbed the TD Bank North up on Court Street on Monday and got away on a bicycle, which I think would maybe say that maybe we need a few more bicycle officers. They could have maybe chased the guy down. But I mean, that's a small branch bank. They probably couldn't have had more than $1,000 in the place at the time, you know. They say he's a Caucasian male, 18 to 30 years old, and 5'6" to 5'8". I don't think they've caught him yet either. But apparently his getaway car was a bicycle. So I don't know if you have any information. If somebody's, you know, spending a bunch of crumpled up $1 bills, or I don't know. But they must have like security video and stuff. So, but that's all the news. It was bank robbery. I mean, we've never had a bank in Keene robbed, I don't think.
I don't remember one.
Although as a teenager, I sat around with a bunch of kids one day and we planned out how to rob all 5 banks on Main Street at the time. It was way over our heads, so we'd never done it. But we had a plan. As any good 17-year-old kid would. All right. This is the point of the show where we'd normally do crew call, NASCAR and Patriots. But once again, Jane and Mike's car is not working, so they couldn't get into town. Andrea had an operation today on her foot. And so she's not here. So Bruce is in the booth all by himself. The only NASCAR news really is Carl Edwards won at Bristol. And I really, God, since the college has been back, I've been working so hard and it's getting busy. These college kids are finding out about Athens and we're going to be jumping. But yeah, and Andrea's out. So it's Bruce, Greg, and I, and it's just the 3 of us here tonight. And I hope Andrea's feeling better. When we left this afternoon, she was kind of like floating in the chair there, you know. Because up there at the hospital, they know exactly the right drugs to get you into that nice wavy motion, you know. But she'll be all right. I think Bruce is leaving his phone on tonight just in case she needs to call. But I hope you feel better, Andrea. And God, I can't remember the name of that girl. Anyway, one of the girls at the Grange that Andrea talks about all the time. She's going to call you, I believe, tomorrow about your tickets to next week's show. And Elliot, I have your tickets, and I will get them to you. And anybody else that wants tickets to the next week's show, which I've actually got right here, the 50th episode show. We do have the tickets ready, and if anybody wants a ticket, they can email me at headforlaughs@hotmail.com, and we'll get you tickets. I don't really want to mail them out. I just as soon hand deliver them or have my crew hand deliver them. But we'll get them to you or arrange something so you can pick them up somewhere. But if you want tickets, email. It's going to be a great show. Alethea Glimanakis is starting as co-host next week. Big segment on safety, school safety, just general safety in general. So that's next week. Tomorrow, Saturday is the Music Fest. For Cheshire TV is going to be filming at the Railroad Square stage if anybody's interested, come on down, check it out. Uh, September 8th, which is a week from Saturday, is our big show at Center Pond in Stoddard, up at Chet Pratt's place. So there's going to be a filming of an episode for the upcoming series for the Poor Horny Rednecks. There's going to be stand-up comedy filmed by myself, and I believe we're going to have an appearance by Sweet Baby Ray. Going to come up and do some of his stand-up comedy. And I believe we're going to be shooting an episode of Unfiltered right up there live on the lake. So it should be a great weekend. And I was told by Chet to tell everybody, bring your tents, camp out, come and enjoy, it's not going to cost you anything. Bring stuff to barbecue with, and we'll have a good old time up there. All right. I'm going to do 2 CDs because I'm not sure how many more weeks we're going to do the CD review. But the first one is an old one. It's a really old one. Rick Wakeman and Journey to the Center of the Earth. Now, you older guys will know that Rick Wakeman was the keyboard player for Yes. And while Yes was like real mainstream and they were the hot band on a lot of people's minds, I went out and was buying some of this solo stuff by Rick Wakeman. Fantastic. And he does it with the London Symphony. It was recorded in 1974. It's a live album. Recorded with the London Symphony Orchestra and the English Chamber Choir. And it was narrated by David Hemmings because it tells the story of Journey to the Center of the Earth, the old classic. I believe it was H.G. Wells that wrote that. Does anybody know? Greg? H.G. Wells?
Yeah, I think
Journey to the Center of the Earth? Somebody, anyway. But it tells that whole story with music and just little tiny bits of narration. Fantastic. And it's one of those musical pieces that you feel every moment of the music. There's really powerful times, there's really sad parts, and through the music you can feel the story and you can understand the story. Great CD. But like I said, it's old. It'll be hard to find probably. But the internet, you can find anything on the internet. But he was an artist that really deserves, people pass over the old artists. The younger kids come up, and if they've never heard anybody, they've never heard some of this older stuff, old obscure stuff, they have no idea what they're missing. And they're all into the new music, and, well, take a step back from the new music, check out some of this older stuff. You'll find that it was really inventive and progressive for the time that it was made. All right, and the second CD I want to do, because I haven't done any comedy CDs yet. So this is Mitch Hedberg, Mitch Altogether. And this is actually a special CD because it's got a bonus DVD of a couple of his Comedy Central stand-up bits. A couple of my favorite bits by him is he talks about doing a movie with Peter Frampton and the fact that he got to, in the scene, they smoked pot together. And he says, well, it was fake pot, of course. And he said, but smoking fake pot with Peter Frampton's almost as good as smoking real pot with a guy that looks like Peter Frampton. And he wonders if the guy that invented the bong, when that guy first got the idea for the bong, whether a black light lit up over his head. So yeah, he's a great comedian. He's got kind of a monotone-ish kind of a delivery, real slow, so all you potheads will be able to understand him. He talks slow, I'm pretty sure just for that reason. But yeah, he says Kit Kats have the names stamped in the top of the candy bar, and that robs you of chocolate. So that's the CDs. let me get into some stuff that's been blowing my mind this week. I'm going to start with this one because somebody told me this is the reason they did this was because they have to. But apparently this weekend, the New Hampshire State Police will be holding a drive-through sobriety checkpoint up on Route 9 if anybody's interested in going up and seeing if they can pass. Why they tell people where they're going to be, I have no idea. It seems like if you just put one up and surprise people, then yeah, they'd maybe get a few more. But no, somebody reads the paper and says, oh yeah, Route 9 this weekend, and I'm drinking in Brattleboro? Well, I'm coming home either through Westminster and Bellows Falls or through Hinsdale. Just to, I mean, you can't. I wouldn't go through Chesterfield because that's where they're going to be. Route 9 in Chesterfield, and they're just going to be stopping people. They said they're not going to be messing with asking for licenses and things like that. They're just going to make sure that your kids are buckled up and that you're sober. So, if you're drunk over the weekend, 119 into Winchester. See, I mean, if they said they were going to set one up in Route 9 and then set one up on 119, they might get them. They don't tell people where you're going to set up a sobriety checkpoint. Set it up and arrest people. Don't warn them. Say, oh yeah, we're going to be here. So, that's like the cop saying, we're going to have an undercover cop selling pot down on Main Street. So go on down and buy some. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work, though. Same as everywhere. But somebody told me that they have to do that. They have to announce where they're going to be doing sobriety checkpoints. Doesn't make any sense to me. This doesn't make any sense to me either. Leona Helmsley. Apparently this lady was just off her rocker. Yeah. She's got 4 grandchildren. She gave 2 of her grandchildren 0. Nothing. She gave 2 of them each $10 million. She gave her dog $12 million. $12 million for a dog. And I heard that this dog has been eating specially prepared gourmet food prepared by a chef. A dog. I want to marry that dog. Yeah. That dog's worth something. It was funny. I went and visited Tarzan this week, and we were sitting out back talking in the sun, and one of his friggin' cats comes up, climbs up on my lap, puts both paws on my shoulders, and starts rubbing up under my chin. Apparently, the cat didn't realize I don't much like cats, but he's a friendly sort. He was actually kind of a cool cat. But yeah, Leona Helmsley, $12 million to a dog. God, maybe the dog should donate it to charity or something, because it doesn't take. I mean, and what happens when the dog dies? I mean, the dog can't legally have a will, can it?
I think he's going to will the money to his hamster.
That could be. The dog's probably got a pet now. If I was a dog with $12 million, I'd have a pet.
Get himself a nice little French poodle.
A couple of them, yeah, the high-priced ones. Speaking of high-priced, how about this for? How much do you think this presidential endorsement is going to cost? Fidel Castro backs Barack Obama. Can you imagine that? He said that yesterday. He said he backs Barack Obama, and he said that a Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama team up would be invincible. That's what Castro said. And this is a man that knows politics. He's been ruling Cuba since 1959. This is a guy, he said, we don't need no stinking elections. I run this country, and I will run this country till I die. He's died a couple times. They brought him back to life. He looks horrible too. But yeah, he said he backs Obama, and apparently Obama's got a policy on Cuba already. But like we need one. I mean, anything that we haven't already done to Cuba, and we've done everything. We've tried to do everything. We actually own a piece of Cuba. Did you know that? We own a little chunk down there somewhere. What else have I got? What time is it? All right. I want to talk about this. I didn't get this whole story, but apparently this whole rethinking the whole pulling out of Iraq deal because of Iran. And what I heard last night is the president of Iran is like saber rattling and using all this rhetoric where he's talking about as soon as America leaves Iraq, there's going to be a huge vacuum of power and Iran will be ready to step right in. And if they get the bomb, then Bush is afraid that the whole region will be under the threat of nuclear holocaust. And Bush has vowed that he will step in and do something if need be. So don't be surprised if Iran becomes the next target, and before Mr. Bush gets out of office, he's gonna do something, because we can't let them. Right now, I believe Iran is probably one of the strongest countries over there, but I don't know. This story is wild. I know Tarzan was telling me Danny Mitchell was talking about it on the air the other day. Senator Larry Craig, the senator from Idaho who's not gay, never has been gay, but he pled guilty to making advances on an undercover cop in an airport restroom. So apparently he's not gay. He's bisexual. That's the politically correct term, is bisexual. That means you sleep with women and you sleep with men too. So apparently, I mean, and definitely if he's in the airport restroom, he's in the closet about that half of his life. So the only one that's going to hurt is his wife, really. I mean, because it doesn't matter to us, you know. None of my friends care if he's gay, if he's not gay, you know. It's just that as a senator, I mean, get a hotel room, something. You don't need to be hanging around in airport bathrooms, tapping shoes with the guy in the next stall. Come on. I mean, go to the rest areas where all the other queers go. God. You know? Unbelievable. And for a senator. And he spent the better part of yesterday telling people how much not gay he was. I'm not gay. I would have done that in a girl's bathroom. I don't know. But apparently he couldn't tell that the guy was an undercover cop by the shoes. So, I mean, you'd think as a senator you'd know what kind of shoes undercover cops wear. Or maybe the cop was real undercover. Now, I wonder if it was something that was set up, or if the undercover cop just happened to be in there doing the same thing the senator was. And then when the senator hit on him and he didn't want an old man, he busted him. I mean, as a truck driver, I've seen it all. The rest areas around this country are filled with it. They're like the flashing brake lights and like special signals and all weird shit in rest areas and in public bathrooms too. In Keene, as a kid, I remember seeing the queers down in the basement of City Hall in the old bathroom down there. And they had the friggin' little holes drilled in the stalls. It's not something that's new. It's something that's been going on for years. It happens. I mean, George Michael. How many years ago was that? It was the same thing with him. Restroom of a park. or it's the restroom of a bus station somewhere. Like, public restrooms. Because apparently that's the way we've forced the gay people in America to live. You know, to hide in the bathrooms and the little alleyways and stuff, you know. You can't be proud of yourself because you're dirty and you know, you're a queer. So, you know, go someplace where we can't see you, you know. But apparently it's not the way it's going to be. Let me see. Andrea handed me a bunch of this stuff today. We have, I thought I had more cards in that. Music festival. I already spoke about the music festival. Like I said, it's going to be a great day. It's from 10 in the morning until 10 at night. I believe I didn't see how many stages, but I know there's a stage at the Railroad Square, Central Square Gazebo, the Center at Keene, City Tire Company, 4 sidewalk stage areas, which will be the Farmers Market, Miller Brothers Alley, Church Street, and the Keene Gas Company. There will also be, I heard, music at the Center at Keene, music at Colony Mill, I believe, and I believe it's Art in the Park Day out at Ashwheelet River Park. They're gonna have a bunch of the artsy stuff out there. God. What's this one? Did you hear about that guy that robbed that guy in, I think it was in New York or somewhere, but he told the guy he wanted his money, and the guy said, all I got is $10, and the robber said, I only want 4. Go into the pizza parlor and get change. So the guy did, went in, got change, came back out. The guy took his $4 and ran off and was arrested. Because while the guy was in getting change, he called the cops. You gotta rob somebody. I mean, $4? It didn't say what the guy wanted the $4 for either. What is this one? You're right. Which is probably why it ended up in the strange news briefs. Although he made Keith Olbermann's like top 3 newsmakers yesterday. So, I mean, all you got to do is be too stupid and you can become famous. Look at me. What's some other? Oh, another one. September 15th. Oh, that's a week from Saturday. 2nd annual E.F. Lane Hotel Oktoberfest will be held. Thanks, Andrea. What other stuff? This one, I don't know. I didn't read it, but the headline got me and Andrea pulled it because I'd mentioned obesity before. It says Mississippi tips the scales as nation's most obese state. Mississippi has 30% of its residents classified as, more than 30% classified as obese. 47 states are just above 20%. And just 15 years ago, no state was above 15% of obese people. 15 years and we've all turned into fat slobs. It's sad. I don't know. It just goes on it talks about the fact that obesity is a health crisis in America. And I don't know. I didn't take time to read it. Another one she gave me was California is going to take away cell phones from teenage drivers. And you know, I agree. Which, this is going to lead me right into a great rant here because delivering, like I do, and driving around this town for 6 hours every day, I've realized one thing. It's not the roads and the streets that cause traffic. It's other drivers. people who don't know what they're doing, where they're going, and should not even be in the automobile. Just in the roundabout down on Winchester Street. It's easy. I can zip through there like nothing. But there's always that one person that comes from, I'm trying to go from Winchester Street around to Winchester Street. This guy always gets in a left-hand lane, goes out into the circle, and then wants to go out 101. And, here's a tip for the Keene Police Department. Put a cruiser right down there on the corner of Emerald Street and Main Street and pick off the people that blow through that damn stop sign or that go straight through that stop sign in the turn-only lane. Because the right-hand lane is turn-only down Emerald Street. The left-hand line is straight through, which, coming back to Athens Pizza, I get in the left-hand lane to go through the intersection and turn into Athens Pizza until some jerk gets in the right-hand lane and goes straight through, who I proceed to cut off, and they flip me off like I'm in the wrong when they went straight through that turn only. Put a cop down there. You won't even have to move. Stand there and point. Pull over. You're a retard. Can't figure out a stop sign in 2 lanes. This one turns, this one goes straight. It's easy. We've been driving it for 3.5 months now, for God's sakes. I can drive that whole detour with my eyes closed. I have noticed, though, that yesterday, once they opened up the bottom half of that roundabout on Main Street, did you go through there? Anybody? You could come up Main Street, go into the roundabout, and then down Marlborough Street. Woohoo! It was fun, too. But it's tying up traffic to beat hell down there on Grove Street. Now Grove Street's backed up both ways, which is kind of nice because when you're sitting there, you can look over and have somebody to talk to and work your way up. You get to meet a lot of people that way. But yeah, my whole idea is when I go on a pizza delivery, I get my pizza. Generally, I know where I'm going because I've lived here all my life. But I always look at the map on the way out the door and plan my route. I know when I go up West Street, I know exactly where I'm going to change lanes. I know when I'm going to pull back into another lane. I know where I'm going to turn. I know what stop signs I'm going to stop at, what stop signs I'm not going to stop at. The whole 9 yards, plan your trip. Know beforehand, especially if you're going to drive downtown. Know beforehand where you're going and how you're going to get there. That's another one that really gets me is coming off the lights, going down Main Street from the Common, is people that go from the left-hand lane at the light and end up in the right-hand lane on the other side of the light. Meanwhile, they're cutting somebody off, and they don't care. But there's a lot of out-of-state plates around these days, too. So, yeah. Let's talk some more about next week's episode. Because we're going to set up in the green room. The tickets are asking that people arrive between 6 and 6:30. And that nobody, of course, we forgot to put on the tickets, Bruce, that we'd like to have nobody admitted after, say, 5 minutes of 7 due to the quiet on the set rules that we have. And the fact that we've never done a live episode, so we're just going to figure it out as we go. But yeah, it should be really interesting. Like I said, it's going to be Alethea's first night as co-host. We've got a great segment on safety and keeping yourself safe. And we may have a guest. We're not sure. We haven't decided yet. But if you want tickets, like I said, email me. if you have any input for the new format of the show, because we're still working on that. I'm trying to take it from this reading the news commentary thing, and I'd like to broaden it out, throw a little bit of life stuff in, a little bit of a relationship segment maybe, you know, how to get along with your mate better, or how to find a mate, or I don't know, maybe how to mate might be a good topic. I don't know. I do have one story that I'm saving that I saw in the paper about seniors having more sex, which is really cool. I mean, you know, and anybody that shivers when they think of their parents still having sex, you know, put yourself a few years down the road, you know, and that's old people having sex that's going to be us eventually. You know, we're going to be the old people having sex. But yeah, the article, I just barely started reading it, and it was quite interesting. So I also found another story about the happiness of teenagers, what actually makes them happy, and you'll be surprised at some of the answers. Oh, what else is going to happen next week? Not much. Not much. We're going to use some of the new equipment from down here at the studio. We're going to use the boom for some camera shots. And I hope that Mike and Jane will be here.
I do too.
But yeah, and I don't know, Lee told me today that he can't believe the evolution of the show. And the reason that it keeps evolving, I always feel like it's starting to get a little old, you know, where it's starting to get overboard. Because I'm a guy, to be honest, I'm obsessive, and I'm manic depressive, and when I get a project, I go all, you know, the phone calls was a good example of that. You know, we jumped right into the phone calls, and I played them and played them and played them, and eventually they got out of hand. You know, we are going to be starting a segment with Tarzan, where we're going to hear from Tarzan every week, and he's going to do a little monologue on what's bothering him. We haven't named the segment yet, but we're working on it. And I think it'll be really good, because that's a guy, he's really into the whole political scene, and I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about the war from him, because he's still upset that we've got soldiers there, and upset that we're not doing the soldiers right, you know? I mean, it would be one thing if we sent them over there, we brought them back when they were supposed to come back, but people aren't doing that. But anyway, that'll be another segment. I'm gonna teach Alethea how to throw cards. That'll be one good thing. So yeah, and what have we got? We got about 15 minutes. Why don't we bring Ben in now, if that's all right? I've got, like I said last week, we've got Ben Pratt here, the magician, the winner of this year's Superstar, and he's doing a show next weekend, next Friday night at the Keene High School at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. A magic show, and I believe the proceeds or at least a portion of the proceeds are going to come here to Cheshire TV. And I think we're all set. We've got him in and plugged up. How you doing, Ben?
What's going on, dude?
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So let's first talk about the magic show.
The magic show. All right, well, basically, it's September 7th, which is about 8 days from now. And it's going to be at 8 o'clock, and proceeds are going to go towards Cheshire TV. And it's got all kinds of great stuff, and I don't really want to give much away.
No, we don't want to give away the whole show.
Yeah, I really don't want to do that. But, you know, it's got tons of audience participation. Probably in this show, it's going to have like 25, 26 people just to come up on stage and help me out. And a lot of people. And I really like to have everyone involved. And just a great place just to go and have fun. You know, if you got nothing else to do, it's only $5. You can't go wrong. $5 to go to the show.
You can't go wrong with $5.
No, you really can't. For what I offer you guys to go and see this show, it's going to be great. It's really.
Now you did a fantastic show at Superstar.
Thanks.
And you had what, 10 minutes? Superstar, something like that.
Maybe a little less than 10 minutes for each show. So, I did my Dove act and some my hula hoop act as well.
How long is the show next week?
How long? It's going to be probably roughly hour and a half. It's going to be 45 minutes first half, followed by a 15-minute intermission, then approximately another 45-minute afterwards.
Oh, so you've got a lot of tricks.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah.
How long have you been doing magic?
Oh God, since I was a tiny little kid. I mean, a long time. I'm going to say probably like 5 or 6 years old when I first got interested in it. You know, I saw David Copperfield on television, and pretty much he did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He did like a version of cutting someone in half, and I remember I was sitting at my grandparents' house when I saw this happen, and I was sitting right next to my grandpa, and I was like, that's magic right there. That's awesome. I want to be able to do that someday. And I thought, you know, that's just like the greatest feeling in the world, you know, just to be able to do something that's different and unique and something that feels good about yourself, feels good about the people that you're doing it for, and I just wouldn't have any other way. I love it so much.
So David Copperfield was
I'm a huge Copperfield fan. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
What do you think about Chris Angel?
Okay, Chris Angel. I first know who Chris Angel was years before this whole Mind Freak came out, before he was really dubbed or considered Mind Freak, whatever you want to call it. And he was awesome. It was great. I mean, he had a huge stage show. It was so different and fascinating, unlike anything I've ever seen before. And it was just like a real jaw dropper, some of the stuff he did. Right. And it was just so like theatrical, and it had a real gothic vibe to it at the same time. And it was just like, wow, this is intense. And then, I was more of a fan of him back then than I am today. I don't want to have too strong of an opinion about it, but nonetheless, you know, if you like him, you know, more power to you. I got really nothing too great against him.
Yeah, he is big, and
he is.
You
big,
think it's the gimmick that got him the TV show?
Well, he changed his image to a more younger, appealing crowd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was different back then than he is now, and
now I noticed
it's pretty straightforward.
At Superstar, you have basically the stereotypical magician image.
Yeah, I suppose.
The tails.
I suppose, yeah. That's who I am. You know, I'm a stage guy. I like theater. I've done a tad bit of acting as well. I mean, I just like being on stage. You know, it's a natural high that you really can't get anywhere else, and I just.
And I have to mention that you come from a fairly talented family anyway.
Well, yeah, my dad has been playing bass for like, oh man, over 25 years probably.
And he's been in
Turn It Loose
for years.
Ever before I was born even.
Yep.
So like 20 years.
And your uncle Chet.
My uncle Chet. Oh yeah. That's my uncle.
Been on the show.
Yeah, for Poor Horny Rednecks.
Yep. So yeah, the talent is not lacking in your family.
No, not so much. We do have quite a diverse family.
This is a question that came to me yesterday, and it's probably a crap question, but what's the difference between a magician and an illusionist? Or are they the same?
Well, in a way, they kind of are, really. In a lot of ways, they really pretty much are the same. It's just, I guess it's really just a matter of what you want to be called. I mean, you know, I could be called Ben Pratt the Magician, or David Copperfield the Illusionist, or whatever you want to dub yourself. However, illusionist is a nice word to say. I mean, it does sound much more flashier and stuff like that. And you go, illusions, ooh, what's that? I must have learned more. What is this? So you can be a magician. Oh, a magician, okay, that's fun. You know, or provocateur is another word that Chris Angel likes to use a lot. And, And, you know, just, I guess it's more of really a matter of preference, I suppose.
Do you remember the first trick you ever did?
Oh, man. I have a couple guesses. I did think about this on my way over here, and I do have a couple guesses. One of them is where you have like a stack of like 4 nickels, and you just kind of place them onto the table or whatever, and you have like this brass covering, and you just kind of cover it and you uncover it and you change it to 4 dimes. That's one thing that I remember. And another thing I remember is you have like this like dice. It's like a big, good-sized dice, like probably about that big, and it's got like 6 different colors on it. It's not like a regular dice, and you put it inside of a box, and pretty much you'd say, pick any one of these colors that you want, and whichever color you want, leave on the top, and then place the cover on. And you put it behind your back, and you go, I'm going to guess what it is, and then you use your telekinesis to try to figure out what color that they picked is. Those are pretty sure it's pretty close to one of my first tricks I ever learned.
And now, I talked to your dad. He says you've got thousands
I do.
of dollars wrapped up into tricks.
I have a lot of money invested in what I do. And I don't even know. I think maybe I tried to total it one time, but I just said, it's not worth it. But
there's no limit, right?
To me, no. Absolutely not.
How expensive are...
How expensive can these things get?
Yeah.
That's once again, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, you can do the most amazing piece of magic for something that costs you nothing, that you can literally take up and pick up off the table and do the most amazing thing with it. As opposed, you can also spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a great big stage illusion that I do have in my show, and it can also be just as amazing. It's really just how you present it and how you take yourself off as a magician, and just the way you do it.
You didn't bring any birds with you tonight, did you?
No, I didn't bring any birds. I don't think people would appreciate people flying, because they would see the lights and they'd probably want to go right for them. So
yep. But I remember the birds from Superstar.
Yeah.
You did a great show at Superstar.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
I am a fan of my birds. That's probably one of my favorite bits that I do is stuff with my birds.
But you did bring some stuff for tonight, right?
Oh yeah. I brought all kinds of stuff here.
We can.
You want to see some stuff here?
Sure. Let's see a few tricks.
All right. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Now, here we go. Well, you're probably wondering what this is, I suppose, right? Now, what this is called a card guard. And pretty much what it does is I bought these 2 decks of cards at the exact same time from the exact same store. And as you can see, even the color difference and stuff like that. Now, what this does is it keeps the cards in a small, compressed state, and it keeps them from bending and bowing and wearing and tearing, that kind of thing. And you can see the difference. I mean, there really is even in color. I mean, they really do look really fabulous. Now, some of them come with plastic, some of them come in wood, some of them come in metal, which is the best kind. But plastic works too, and it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to try something a little different than just for its initial use. Now, I have this deck of cards here, and what I want you to do, Rick, is just go ahead and just kind of pick any one you want. All right, just give them a quick mix.
All right.
Just for clarity, and you can see it's important to know that these are all different, right? And I'm just going to kind of go ahead and just riffle down with them. Just say stop whenever you want. It doesn't matter.
Stop.
Right there. You can go more if you want to. It doesn't
that's
matter.
fine.
You're fine. All right, fine. Take that card right there. Show it to me. And show it to the camera. I won't look. And then place it face down when you're done. That's fine. You got it?
We got it.
All right. Right there. Okay, perfect. Now, I have a prediction card in this deck. It's been on the top of this deck the entire time, all right? I'm just going to leave it right there the entire time. Now, go ahead, turn over your card first, just to make sure. All right, now go ahead. It's 10 of diamonds, right?
Here was the 10 of diamonds.
It's the 10 of diamonds. Now, like I said, I have a prediction card here the entire time, and it is indeed a duplicate matching pair of the 10 of diamonds.
It's the 10 of diamonds.
It's kind of neat within of itself. Now, there's a bonus to this trick. If we take the cards like this and you place it inside the box, and I'll place the rest inside the card box as well, or the card guard, just like that. Now, if I take this 10 of diamonds, now ready, watch closely, and I just cast a shadow over it like that. Now watch as the entire deck of cards manages to completely disappear. Each and every single card except for the 10 of diamonds.
That's good. That's good.
Way to go!
That's nice, man. I like that.
Thanks.
That's all right.
Thanks. All right. You want to see something else?
Sure.
All right. Sweet.
So these are tricks that basically cost you nothing except a couple decks of cards.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just something that I just kind of had an idea for, and I thought, let's try it out. And
Do you ever go into bars and make money?
Have I? Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. I have actually, unfortunately. They go, you're underage. Oh, we know you anyway. Just come in anyway. No one has to know. It's cool. And All right.
But yeah,
Now-
you could probably make out like a bandit.
I have. I don't want to.
You must know a ton of bar tricks too.
Yeah, well, actually, this is a pretty good bar trick right here.
All right.
This is one of my favorites. You know, this is what do you call these sponge balls? You know, I've heard of the name called tribbles, clown noses. You know, call it whatever you want. You know, it doesn't matter. But basically, if you take it like that, and it looks like you're pressing it down really hard. I don't know if you can see that very good, but you. Oh yeah, that's better. And you saw in half like that, as if you're really sawing like a lady in half, and you'd swear that there's two balls there.
Neat.
It's kind of neat, right?
That's pretty cool.
Now, it's kind of a start, kind of like a Sesame Street style is how I like to say it. You kind of go like this. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, like that. Now, it's kind of interesting in and of itself. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and make a fist like that and push that straight inside of there. I'm going to take this sponge ball. Rick, hold out your hand nice and flat. Perfect. Take that hand, hold on, squeeze it tight. Don't move. Ready? A snap is all it takes, and it completely disappears from my hand. Now, I'm not going to touch you or come near you. Just go ahead and open your hand slowly.
Nice.
So you got the two, right?
I got the two balls.
You got the two. Now, let's try this again. Let's try this again. 2 balls this time. All right, 2 balls, 1 hand. All right. Go ahead, hold your hand out one more time. Take it, squeeze it, don't move, all right? Finish everything. I got another ball here, okay? Hold on. Don't move. I got another ball. Now, if we take this ball right here and I place it inside the hand like that, you know, you blow like that. I won't touch you or come near you. Just open your hand slowly. And
Damn.
And there's the 3.
Can you do that with anything, or just those balls?
Well, I suppose, but you know, these are the initial purpose for them. But you know, essentially, if you take the ball and place it inside the back pocket, and you place it here. So how many are here?
2.
And how many went into the pocket?
1.
Now always add. Remember, the rule of sponge balls is you add them together. So what do you get?
3.
3. That's right. It's 3. 3. All right, but here, let's try this one more time. And all right, go ahead and hold your hands out together like that. Squeeze it tight. Use both hands. Use super tight. All right. Now you have the 3 hands in it. Would it be impossible? Would it be impressive, I should say, if I take one out invisibly? It's invisible, so if I make a mistake, you'll never know.
All right.
And I place it inside of my pocket like that. So how many technically would be there?
God, I can't remember the math. Like 4?
2.
Oh, 2?
2.
Okay.
2 with 1 hand.
Thought you were
all
trying
right.
to
All
give
right,
me a
but
hand.
in reality, how many would be there in reality?
3.
3. All right. Open your hand.
Jesus, Ben. Let me wrap up. Keep going with Greg. Greg will come over and play balls with you. He likes to play balls. I want to thank Greg. I want to thank Bruce. I want to thank Ben for coming. And remember, Friday,
September
September 7th at 8 o'clock at Keene High School. I want to thank Mom's Tattoo and Gemini Screen Print. Till next week, peace. That's neat, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool. No, I was thinking I got a couple buttons you could do that.
Oh, yeah. That's